Hello, I'm Simon Calder, and you're watching, thank you very much, another episode of Back to the City, Minneapolis Music Conversation. Our home, for the time being, is the duplex, as it was called by Adam Worthen, aka Larry Wish, when he lived here, and wrote a lot of the Larry Wish material and recorded much of that material too in this very room. Today I'm going to be joined by Daniel Bonespur to talk about his new EP, Depths of Height. Something else that Adam Worthen wrote were the lyrics alongside Daniel for this song, which we can hear at the moment and is called Fubby. And Daniel, who is just arriving at the front door right now, is going to be performing this song acoustically for the first time at the duplex in this room momentarily. So without any further ado, I shall let him in the door and we'll get talking about the new record. Welcome.
Hi.
Do you know this is where Adam used to live?
I do.
It's great to see you. So welcome, Daniel.
Hey, thanks, Simon. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Did we meet in the Kitty Cat Club, or was it through maybe Jamie Quinn that you got involved in that bill?
I think it might have been Jamie. Did he play that night?
He had been playing in this series. So many moons ago, I was running the singer-songwriter extravaganza, and there was a Daniel Bonespur set. There were a couple of stages at the Kitty Cat Club, and I think were you doing some looping?
Yeah,
then?
I did a vocal loop.
Yeah.
With just like a microphone and a little loop station, and you were nice enough to accommodate that cacophonous 10-minute long vocal thing inside of a acoustic singer-songwriter night.
Yeah, and you're gonna full circle. You're gonna return to acoustic singer-songwriter before you leave the duplex, as Adam would call it.
Acoustic guitar.
And the song that we began the episode with, that we can probably still hear in the background right now. In fact, Fubby is what you're gonna perform.
Yeah.
So Fubby is one that you wrote with Adam, at least the lyrics with Adam.
Okay, so here's what happened. I was writing a song for a play. So I write music for theater.
Oh, cool.
And so I was writing this song, and it's based on a Calvino story.
Which one?
Daughters of the Moon.
Okay.
Yeah, and at the end of this theatrical event, these two woolly mammoths sing this song to the moon.
Okay.
They look up at the moon and they sing this song, and I had the song written out, but I didn't really have a chorus.
Okay.
I heard Adam and his acronym Fubby.
Yes.
When he was telling Jess Buns on a short-lived YouTube show or something that she did.
Okay.
And
what was it called? Can you remember?
Oh man, I don't remember what it's called. I think
it's a quiz. Like which Calvino novel? What was the show called? What songs did you play 3 years ago at the Kitty Cat Club?
They're all there somewhere. And yeah, so I heard Adam say Fubby, which is an acronym. Fuck you, buddy. Be yourself. Yeah. And now he has a band called Fubby. And I feel like that it's weirdly Minneapolis has taken on this sentiment that Adam started. And it just worked really well for the song.
That's nice.
And so I asked him if I could steal that, if I could yoink it. And he said sure. And so
he gets the lyric credit because of that.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a journey through the record. The record begins with a song called No Enola.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a lyric in, I think, the second verse, or no, the last verse. No Enola in Shanty's boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edgewise twice over the holes in your pockets. I imagine one's hands being, over the edge of the pockets, perhaps. The hole in your head is poo. You don't have any holes in your head today. You're remembering all of the.
You just wait. That's what this hat is on for.
And then I'll see the holes.
Keeping it all in.
What's No Enola? What does that phrase mean?
So that song and 3 of the other songs on the album, those come from older albums. The album itself, Depths of Height, we made that because I've been playing with a group of people for the first time in my life, for an extended amount of time.
Which includes Skylar
Nowinski, Joe Strand, Noah, Hoffman Baldwin, Ben Peterson, and Charlotte Calvert came in.
Yeah, she does some vocals.
Yeah. and Andrew Wozniak also came in, and so the main core was Ben, Skylar, Joe, Noah, myself, and we've been playing for a bit, and we kind of developed these collections of songs, and so it just felt right. It like had this certain vibe to it, and we wanted to record that.
Yeah.
And so Noe Nola comes from another album I made maybe in 2012 or something, and that album's called Dumb Show. And it's not, there's like no drums really, and it's all kind of like sounds and kind of like meandering songs. And so we wanted to kind of make like an album that had like maybe more of a certain vibe to it.
Yeah, and that's what I would have heard, I think, when Jamie, or whoever it was, I think it was Jamie Quinn, said, "I've got a friend, here's his music." Yeah. You know, involve him in the songwriting.
Oh, did he send you that album, you think?
He sent me something, and if this came out in 2012 and the show was like 2013, 2014.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that probably would have been the one. And then the album after that, Dead People, that 2 other songs from that album.
And which 2?
Bodies Where I Want, and
final track.
The First Time I Smelled Ham.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the First Time I've Smelled Ham, that's the other one that has, where the lyric is credited to someone else besides you, as well as you, and Michael Summers in that case. Yeah. And it's the one with the least lyrics, and most of the lyrics are the First Time I Smelled Ham.
Yeah, a repetition of that.
Yeah.
And that comes from a play that I saw Michael do.
Oh, cool.
And so we had been working together on a few different shows over the last few years.
Okay.
And so, asked him if I could snatch that line, and then added some other lines to it as well.
So there's a bunch of buddies locally that all help each other be themselves.
Totally.
fuck you, be yourself.
Yeah. It's good reminders.
Are these lyrics, are they from the play then? Don't ask me how I feel, I do not understand. If you ask me how I feel, an answer I won't have.
Yeah.
So I know not to ask you about your feelings.
That came from another play we did called The Clumsy Man.
Okay.
Which is based on Hans Christian Andersen, kind of like a portrait of that man.
So what's going on with this song then? It's very funky, it's very fun. What is the significance of smelling ham?
I think it's just a heinous thing to do.
And, to smell ham?
Yeah, I think you remember something like that. You remember an event like that. Yeah. And I think it's kind of sexual.
Okay. And, it's getting us ready for Body's What I Want. Yeah. Which is the following song, which is yet more sexual, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, completely. You kind of got a sense from it watching the play, because he played a character named Ernie. Okay. Who was kind of maybe like a little mentally off, who had like found this passage in the walls of this old building that he lived in.
Okay, so he's already singing about the first time he smelt ham in this passage in the wall. Yeah. And within the play, there's a sexual connotation, is there, to smelling ham?
This is what I'm taking from it. Maybe an emasculating thing. Maybe not somebody that has a lot of stars in their eyes or confidence in themselves in the current moment.
Okay.
Perhaps.
That's interesting that you use the metaphor of stars in their eyes, because
why would that be?
Because there's a girl named Balinese, and sometimes she could not help it, but her reservoir would spill all over the place. Yeah. One time, she confused the holes in my face with shooting stars. It took some time, but I convinced her. And now she knows they're just parked cars. Yeah. The protagonist, at least in this song, is presenting themselves as someone who doesn't have stars in their eyes, holes in the face, eyes. That's what I was reading it as. Yeah. Instead, there's parked cars, but it's really interesting, like what's happening musically there, because it sounds almost euphoric. Noah and Joseph on the synth and the keys have a lot of fun, and it gets like it's just so fun there. What's going on there? This idea, this metaphor, you just used it. On the one hand, the idea of stars in the eyes, but then on the other hand, having parked cars.
I think. All right, so euphoria comes from playing.
Yeah.
That comes from just being together.
The music.
That comes from playing and being together. And if you're going to get a bunch of people in a room, at least I felt recently, try to make it somewhat of an enjoyable time.
That's exactly what Adam was saying when he was singing.
Is that right?
That is. Yeah.
Beautiful. Open Rain for Euphoria.
That comes through performing. But then there's like this incongruity then with the lyric is... What's the lyric doing?
Like, I think you're right to draw a parallel with the Ham lyric.
Yeah.
Because I think there's what people want to see, and then there's what there is, you know. And I think that maybe that's something that's happening in those words.
Someone sees something in a person.
And oops, it's not there.
Yeah. I look at you and I think, oh, I want Daniel to be this, and you're like, I'm not that.
Yeah.
And then that can lead to the idea of there being parked stationary cars instead of light. But then on the other hand, you know, you can be yourself, maybe in collaboration with your friends, and then we get the euphoria of the creating together, perhaps.
Maybe parked cars are a little bit more truthful than shooting stars, and maybe that there's reason to be euphoric.
How did you select that? That's a really interesting vehicle. I mean, in the metaphor, the parked cars are vehicles too, in every respect.
I remember, I think it's Nabokov had a line, the stars sparkled and the cars parkled.
Oh,
parkled. Yeah, I thought that was really funny, and so
Is Nabokov a big influence on your writing?
I cannot say that Nabokov is a big influence. No,
you cannot say.
I can't say that.
But this kind of wordplay that there is in that Nabokov line, we get something like that in some of your lyrics, like when Pushkin comes to shovel. Yeah. So Pushkin, who's Pushkin? For anyone who doesn't know.
He's a Russian writer, from what I remember. And Vladimir, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I believe he was kind of seen as like the bourgeoisie of like a writer that was very fanciful.
Yes.
And the kind of like the richer people kind of dug him, and he kind of represented like the status quo in the early 1900s.
So conservative.
I think. Man, I can't speak with any
authority
on
it. Yeah. So we've had Nabokov, we've had Pushkin, we've had Calvino.
Yeah.
Very, very literary.
Yeah. I think so. I think a lot, like I said, like a lot of these songs come from plays that I've worked on, and so a lot of plays are influenced by, at least some of the plays that I've worked on, writers, and taking stories that these writers have done. It's like taking like a portrait of somebody. You try to look at them and pick a couple different aspects, and blow them up a little.
That makes them them.
And I think that's what theater does for sure. That's what comics do.
Yep.
That's what a lot of live performance, I think, aims to do. Just with the the amount of time that you might have to go to a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't look at everything all at once. So, or maybe you can, and then that's what you do. But making a decision about what to look at and how long to look at something. I think maybe that plays into the narrative of my songs, at least.
Okay, yes. So, for example, you've got this full story, the full play, where one of the things that happens is the character goes in the passage and reflects about the first time they smelt ham.
Yeah.
And then that ends up being a feature that you think is essential for that particular narrative.
Yeah.
And then you find a way to kind of make a song of that.
Yeah, that's what stuck out to me in watching Michael perform this weird show in his apartment. And and just taking that and it's like, cool, that's gonna be a full 4-minute song or whatever it is. Yeah.
Let's have a look at the narrative component of When We Find Each Other then, because that one, in the separate verses, we have these different characters.
Yeah.
We've already been talking about the second verse. That's the woman named Balinese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have a friend named Buccaneer at the beginning of that song. He's curious and he connects a lot. Sometimes he changes his name.
Yeah.
One time I helped him load some lumber into the back of his truck, and then we made a movie. Sometimes I wonder what will come of it.
Simon, you should just read these lyrics. You should have like a spoken word
just like
evening.
Instead of Minneapolis Music Conversation, it could just be Minneapolis lyric readings.
Yeah, completely.
By Simon Calder.
You should do a night of that. That'd be great. Yeah.
I could just sit in this room on my own, or I could invite people over.
Yeah.
Tonight I will be reading Soul Asylum.
Oh, nice. The song, this first verse, the first part of this verse comes from like a performance art piece.
Okay.
Live performance show that my friend Davey T. Steinman.
Yeah.
He did this thing where he, it was like right when Craigslist was first beginning.
Okay.
Maybe this was 2009 or 10. And Davey would go onto Craigslist and just try to have interactions with people. And so he would...
Almost like this is a performance art thing. Yeah.
And so he would film things, much like the way you had your camera ready for me.
Yep.
Except Davey would maybe put his camera inside of his shirt and not let people see. So he would go buy a lawnmower or something.
Well, you surprised me. I was like in the process of
You
like
surprised me
trying
too.
to.
And so Davey would film these interactions he had with people.
Yeah.
And so I'm sorry, Davey, if you're watching this, but I'm giving his name to
Sorry,
everybody.
Vladimir. Sorry, Davey.
Yeah, many apologies. He kind of would like embody these people that he met. Like I bought a lawnmower from Hank, and I like went sledding with Rebecca, and like these were different stories he had. So this was my friend.
And he did something with you.
I think I helped him maybe put some lumber in.
Load some lumber.
Yeah.
So that actually happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I was singing that song. We do that song now, and sometimes when I think of it, it almost kind of sounds sexual again.
Mm-hmm.
Of putting lumber in the back of somebody's truck that kind of took on like a homoerotic sexual reading now.
Now it does.
Yeah.
But you were unaware at the time of the potential.
I was just saying what happened, but now it kind of sounds like Davey and I did something a little bit more.
And hopefully by the end of the record you do something a little bit more with someone. At least you would like to.
Mm-hmm. Do something a little bit more with someone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about that song?
Yes.
Body's What I Want. I take it back. This is my favorite lyric. There is confusion, there is amusement when we get together, if it's cahoots or if it's communion. I think that's great. It kind of sets the scene. We have a sense that, you know, the narrative voice here, you know, wants something to happen. There's some ambiguity about what type of interaction is happening with like a potential lover, a friend potential lover, or an actual lover. I don't know. It's almost impossible not to get a sense of that being the scenario.
Yeah, that song is what it is. You know, I think a little bit more than the other ones.
Yeah.
It kind of, there's not a lot of like metaphor or oxymoron, you know, moronic, maybe just even moronic statements. It's just kind of like this.
And lots of people can relate to this. The exception though, it is true. Is it true? The drumstick won, the flea is dead, and we go on.
Yeah.
We don't expect, you know, the pre-chorus or perhaps the chorus itself to begin with the drumstick. What perhaps the drumstick won? Mm-hmm. How would a drumstick win?
All right, Simon, I'm gonna let you in on something.
Oh, please.
All right, this song is also derived from another show that I did.
Oh, cool.
And
This works for you and works for us too. I'm glad that this happens.
Yeah, there's like it's equal part inspiration.
Yep.
And then I work on the songs, and then so by working on these songs and being inspired, I become dedicated and I put myself into this inspiration.
Yeah.
And so eventually the songs kind of end up like this, where there's me and this inspiration floating around together.
Yeah.
And so the inspiration for this song also comes from the same play called The Clumsy Man.
Oh, okay.
And looking at his life a bit, this guy, Hans Christian Andersen, had a lot of unrequited love in his time. And so it's an easy thing, if you're a human being, to know what he's talking about and what he's feeling.
I think if you're a human being, then you will have experienced unrequited love.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, then it's coming.
And you really should.
You really should, exactly, yeah.
And so the drumstick part, that comes from one of his stories.
Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah.
This song, was it on Dead People, were you saying?
This one was, yeah. So this one, on Dead People, it was a little bit slower, and so when we made Depth of Height, we wanted to make it a little bit, we wanted to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We call it the Friday night groove.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And that's kind of the main difference. We just wanted to like, I just had been like, I think really into like Roberta Flack and listening to her albums and stuff, and I wanted to feel sexy.
It does fit, yeah, it's smooth and soulful. The song sonically seems confident that making the most of the night as two people do best is going to happen. The song, like musically, the song seems pretty sure.
It's already
this is the soundtrack. It's already happening.
Completely.
Musically, So again, we have this interesting relationship between like how the song sounds, and there's a greater kind of confidence. How the song sounds is more positive than the lyrics.
Yeah, I think that came out with a lot of these songs. 4 out of the 6 come from older albums, were reworked.
Yeah.
And I think the first time I did them, the music and the words were kind of maybe a little bit working the same. They had both had the same task.
Yeah.
And so this time around, it was fun and revealing to have the words and music do 2 separate things and see what happened with that.
Which are the ones then that are entirely new for Depths of Height?
The song Depths of Height and Fubby.
Yeah,
Those
okay.
2 songs.
Depths of Height, just that phrase is again really intriguing, and the recurring lyric is to do with average.
Yeah.
Yeah? Average is a myth through Depths of Height.
Yeah.
And I love how when that lyric first comes in the video, that's when the title Depths of Height comes up to. Average is a myth through Depths of Height. What's that mean?
Yeah, it's maybe a way to have what's not meant to be around go away, and to try to live a little bit more presently, and to be in a space where objects come alive, and maybe it's like a fantasy kind of space that you try to put yourself into through recording music or reading books.
Right.
Talking with friends.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, which we might, someone might see like art is like escapism, but then especially at the end of that list, through talking with friends, it's like there's access to this other realm or this other type of experience, and it's not necessarily an escape, but it's
freedom.
It's freedom.
I think so.
Something similar happens in Depths of Height to what I was saying seems to be happening in When We Find Each Other. The grow fangs grow. Yeah. When grow fangs grow, vocally, that's perhaps one of the most impressive and jubilant bits in terms of vocal delivery. What's happening musically there in relation to this image of fangs growing?
Right. The music, there's like these 3 hard stops.
Yeah.
Maybe it's playing right now.
It is. Yeah, there we go.
I just made an editing choice for you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
It's playing right now. Yeah, there's like the repetition of the 3 that always is really satisfying.
Yeah.
Do something 3 times, that feels really good. I see like a wolf coming out. A wolf boy maybe.
If it's Simon or if it's Daniel that's growing fangs, then that's less ominous, isn't it? I suppose that's like, you feel strength.
Grow. Yeah, it's about strength completely. Yeah. It's about, like we're saying, stepping out.
Yeah.
And being in that place.
Yeah.
Of where fantastic things can happen.
Fantastic things.
Alright, I'm done.
Depth and height are 2 different ways of measuring, yeah?
That's right.
So to take them and amalgamate them is doing something like fantastical, but also that shouldn't work.
Right.
And that's the point.
Yeah, completely. Yeah,
okay.
It shouldn't, but it does. Yeah, looking inside of yourself and finding that inner resource to make these things happen. That was one of traveling to Europe this last couple months and playing. A bunch of shows over there. That seemed to be living in that space 100 different times a day.
Yeah.
And I get to carry that now.
Absolutely, yeah. So to access and to share this space breaking away from the average.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we have these ideas about what the average person is like and what's normal.
Sure.
And then before Larry Wish comes along and says, "Fuck you, buddy, be yourself."
Yeah.
Then we have this desire to be normal or to be average or to not stick out. And in the song and your music as a whole, there's this other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just this kind of like move towards, you know, going off.
What's the relationship, if any, between those ideas and the way that Depths of Hype, the song, sounds?
We call that the Saturday night groove.
Okay, as opposed to the Friday night groove is Body's What I Want.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we go forward a night, you're feeling good, you're ready to step out.
Okay.
Yeah. You ready to let the work week go, maybe?
Uh-huh.
It's weekend. It's fun, naughty time.
Come Saturday night,
Yeah.
then we know it's really naughty time.
Yeah, it's naughty time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday night, you're still like you're just shedding your job, feeling a little bit naughty.
Yeah, you're kind of tired. You're like, maybe I shouldn't go out. I don't know. And I'll just stay in. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe I don't know.
Or maybe I'll go through the portal
Yeah.
and experience the Depths of Hype.
Yeah, the portal. What's the portal, Simon?
The portal is the opposite to the passage in the wall,
Okay.
where one goes to sadly reflect on having smelt the ham. You've got theatre and drama being a big influence,
Mm-hmm.
and you would write music for plays.
Mm-hmm.
How regularly does Daniel Bonespur perform live?
Well, I'm playing some solo things. I'm
Yeah.
going out for a little East Coast run
Cool.
in July.
Cool.
And there's a show at Solid State Records
nice.
on July 1st, and that's like going to be actually four songwriters
Okay.
doing like a round robin
Brilliant.
evening of music.
Who
And
else?
So it's Lex Nowens.
Yeah.
from
Oh,
Focus,
yeah.
And
Yeah,
Theo Langenson, who's
Yeah.
an actor and a director in town, and
Cool.
Annie Enneking from the band Annie and the Bang Bang.
Oh,
And so
brilliant.
it's the four of us, sharing some songs.
Cool.
That's July 1st. And then I've got a string of shows out to New York City.
That kicks off the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
Great.
The next band show is August 18th at Ice House with Eric Mason. I like playing with people more, but it's harder to bring them on tour.
Yeah.
And so playing this show, I just thought I would kind of get myself in the lonely Bonespur headspace of just playing by myself. And so there's, while you don't get the joy of getting to play with people, you know, like the way music should be, you get to stop songs and just change things on the fly a little bit easier. And
absolutely.
That can be the fun part about playing by yourself.
So momentarily, you're going to be in lonely Bonespur mode, doing exactly what you were just describing. We're back at Fubby. We're back where we began.
Okay.
With the song Fubby. So that was the song that we heard at the beginning of the episode. That was as you were arriving, as I surprised you with the camera at the door. Fubby, the acronym, fuck you buddy, be yourself, comes from Adam Worthen. That works its way into the chorus. And then there's a recurring lyric, what we both desire, it can never last. So desire is already something we've been talking about. What's the kind of commentary on human relations here?
We get to hurt, we get to feel pain.
Okay.
And we get to try and be happy. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. Nothing is the matter. It's okay.
Okay.
If you have something inside of yourself that can carry you on, that's great. And if you don't, keep working and keep going.
Yeah.
And
the pain is okay.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. And I think the words I try to put down in these songs, I try to make them inevitable as well. They may not always make intellectual sense, but I think there's a lot of different ways of knowing and asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're so lucky we get to go and know things and ask things and
as songwriters, or just in humans,
as people, and as friends with each other.
Yeah.
And I think, Fubby's looking up at the moon. You know, it's
the song itself is looking up at the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sun, the sun's looking down at us, and we're underneath it, And it's all sweat and work. And we are so lucky to get to work.
Yeah.
And sweat.
And play.
And play.
Yeah, and if we're looking at the sun and the moon and it's looking at us, I suppose it doesn't matter so much whether we have stars in our eyes.
Nothing is the matter.
Nothing is the matter. Cool. Okay, well, that was beautiful, and now you're going to convey it through the medium of music.
Sure, I'll do it.
For the first time.
Okay.
In the Back to the City duplex, which has been missing live music ever since Adam Worthen moved out.
Well, you don't play music in here? Are you telling me you and
Marielle
don't
that
play
is
music?
true. No, well, this particular room, I do not.
Okay.
Music, of course, happens in the house.
Music does not happen in this room.
Yeah,
okay.
until now. So a lot is riding on this.
Cool, thanks.
Adam will appreciate it. So yeah, here we go. This is live, Fubby, by Daniel Bonespur.
Living as a witness to your great decline. Desire places distance between your heart and mine, like tides that swallow shore sides, or the shadow your light casts. What we both desire, we will never have. Living open-breasted underneath your rise. Change is crisis only to napping dollar signs, like the holes that mark your surface. Darkness will collapse, and what we both desire, we will never have. Fuck you, you're my buddy, and I want you to be yourself. Fuck you, you're my buddy, and I want you to be yourself. Tending to my imagination, I don't mean to reject the parts of this planet that you choose to reflect, like tides that swallow shore sides, or the shadow your light casts. What we both desire, we can never have. Oh, what we both desire, it will never last.
an excellent ending.
Thanks, Simon.